I really believe in freedom of intelligence, right? And that's something that I can't emphasize enough is like critical to the good future of humanity is that every single person has the freedom to access intelligence without censorship, without bans, without arbitrary limits. And so when I read the Morpheus white paper back in 2023, what inspired me to contribute code to the protocol was because I saw that every person is going to need a personal smart agent that can act based on their values and the things they want to accomplish, not some big company or some big government, because that's where we're headed, right? If you've followed the trajectory of AI, if we go down a centralized path, this is like Web 2.0 on steroids, where basically the big companies are collecting all of your data, monetizing it for themselves, and sprinkling you a little free product on the side, right? The much better outcome is you have a personal agent. It can access compute. It can interact with smart contracts. It's connected to your wallet. It really becomes an extension of your mind, right? And 8 billion people equipped with that, I think we're going to get really amazing outcomes, right? And so it's been incredible to see the last few years, really this movement emerge of people that are radical about open source, they're radical about personal self-sovereignty, and they're connecting these two worlds of Web3 and crypto to all of these new AI tools, right? And honestly, it's the perfect match, right? AI is providing the best user interface we've ever seen. You can just talk to the machine. You could tell it what you want to do. There's no technical barrier. You don't have to be an engineer, right? You can kind of forget all the complexity of smart contracts and transactions and all that stuff and just tell the machine, hey, I want to send some money, right? I want to do this swap. I want to pay for this thing, right? That's how we get to billions of people using crypto, using Bitcoin, is have an interface that's accessible to everybody. I would really compare it to the early days of the web, right? People didn't get online until there was finally a browser. There was a search engine. You didn't have to type in IP addresses. You didn't have to be technical, right? That's how we got it mainstream. And I think that's the moment that we're in right now. So that's what's happening. And you've probably heard a lot about AI last year, but this year is really going to be about agents, the application of AI to accomplish specific tasks, right? That's really what an agent is. It's fine tuned to do one thing. Just like you've got a phone and as an operating system, but you probably also have like 100 apps on there, right? That's what the agents are. They're like that application layer, right? So you're going to have this powerful model, but you're going to want to do specific things that are fine tuned for that outcome. And so, if you're passionate about AI, you're interested in expanding crypto mainstream, come hang out with me afterwards because I would love to nerd out with you about this concept of smart agents, of personal AI. I would recommend checking out Morpheus at more.org, but also something like Venice. If you guys have checked out Venice, quick show of hands, maybe about half the people. It's a project by Eric Voorhees, and it gives everybody a personal AI on their phone, stores all the data locally, encrypts it, and so it's private only to you, right? And they've already got 500,000 users. It integrates with crypto wallets, right? And that's where we're headed is you can create the text, the images, the code, the video, everything you want, right? So, this is moving extremely fast and it's something worth spending your time on because by the end of this year, this entire agentic wave is going to accelerate more and more. And you're really going to want a personal super agent representing you so you can interact with all these other third-party agents that are coming. So anyway, I'll stop there, but excited to be here. Talk to you guys soon. Anybody have questions?
Questions, comments?
Yes, Ryan.
My computer is a few years old. My phone is less capable even than my computer. How do agents that I run locally that are controlling sporadic access to external resources compete with the tremendous amount of compute available for training and inference at these multi-billion-dollar AI shops?
Well, great question. And I wanted to dispel the myth that the big companies have all the GPUs, right? If you look at the number of GPUs that were mining Ethereum before they switched to proof of stake, it was 50 times as many as trained ChatGPT 4. Like, we all, as the crowd, have a lot of compute. Crypto, Bitcoin is by far the world's largest, data centers and power consumer for compute. So, but most people aren't training models. They're just inferencing an existing model, right? So all your local device really has to do is detect intent. What are you trying to accomplish? So Morpheus has a super agent that understands what you're trying to accomplish, and it'll route that request to a specialized model or agent that can do it. And it might be a GPU somewhere else that's running a powerful image model, for example, and it's just returning you that result. So it can move just as fast, just as instantly as any centralized solution. In fact, I would propose decentralized AI will be far more powerful than these centralized systems because it can take economic action. If you notice, all the centralized AIs, they can only give you an answer. They can't do anything for you because it's 2025 and Google still does not have a Web3 wallet because they're a centralized company. They don't want to be a financial intermediary. They don't have to do KYC and AML and all these expensive things. And so they'll just give you information, but they won't take action for you. That's what we're going to see with super agents built on crypto is it can actually take actions. So it's going to be exciting.
So thanks so much.